In a world that's always go, 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 it can be very easy for us to find ourselves with high levels of stress, anxiousness, even depression at times. And what I want to go and talk about today is really the power of our mind and our thoughts, as well as give you 5 easy tools that you can start to incorporate into your life today that will help to reduce the levels of stress in your life. So let's go and jump right into this. So the first thing I want to talk about is your thoughts are so powerful and it can lead to a lot of physical stress within our body. So think about it. If you're watching at the comfort of your home, sitting on the couch, you're watching a scary movie, what typically will happen, right, is that music will start to increase and you get that increasing music and all of a sudden, boom, something jumps out at you. And what's our natural response? We're going to scream, we're going to shout, we're going to punch someone next to us, maybe throw the popcorn, whatever stuff can kind of happen. But what happens is your body starts to develop a physical response, which oftentimes our heart rate will start to increase, our breath will start to become more shallow, and it's because it creates a physical response. So oftentimes we go into what's called a fight or flight response when we become so stressed out. And when you go into that sympathetic state or that fight or flight response, our heart rate usually increases. We will start to get a blood vessel will start to constrict, which will start to increase our blood pressure. Even our breathing will start to become shallow, our immune system starts to go down. There's so many different physical responses that come from stress. And so I want to go over some things that you can start to do today that will help to reduce those levels of stress, improve your mood, which will help to really alleviate some of the depression or the anxiousness that we experience throughout our day as well. So let's jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is exercise. Now there's so many different benefits with exercise, but one of the biggest things I want to talk about is how the exercising, when you do anaerobic exercises, it will increase our heart rate, getting us to become more exerted, helping to take our mindset off of all the stuff that we're stressed out about, but oftentimes it will increase our levels of endorphins, which actually helps to improve our mood, which is why it helps with anxiousness, depression, and helps to reduce our stress levels. And so things like walking at a faster pace, things like running or going for a jog, or even going for a swim, as that starts to increase our levels of our heart rate, it's going to help to reduce our stress levels as well. So that's one of the first things I want to talk about is exercise. The second thing is going to be breathing exercises. Now again, because our breath becomes more shallow, it continues that cycle of anxiousness. So it's almost like you're hyperventilating, you're starting to get shallow breaths. So when you actually take a step back from whatever you're becoming stressed out about, whether it be from work, the family, relationships, whatever the circumstance is, if you can take a step back and start taking some deep breaths in through the nose, where you're just breathing in and then all the way out, and just taking a couple of deep breaths and even just counting backwards from 10 as you're breathing. So breathing in and backwards, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way down to 0. That's going to trigger your mind where it's like, hey, I'm doing okay. You go from that fight or flight response into more of that rest and digest, or the parasympathetic state, if you want to get technical with the term, right? So we've been counting to back down from 10, adding things like meditation, prayer, doing some yoga, listening to calm music. That's going to help us to really transition our mind from that stressful state into more of that relaxful state. So the third thing I want to talk about is getting rid of that stinking thinking. Oftentimes, there's a motivational speaker that I used to listen to. His name's Zig Ziglar, but he talks about stinking thinking. And oftentimes we can just go into a vicious cycle of things that we're thinking about, things that add on to that stress. And oftentimes if we fill our mindset with stressful stuff, things like the news, social media, a lot of different things that we can start to just bring into our mind, that will start to add into some of that stress into our life. And so thinking more of things like gratefulness, things that you're grateful for. So there's a gratefulness exercise that you can do every morning, that right when you wake up, the first thing you do is think of 5 things that you're grateful for every single morning. So things like, man, I'm grateful for the house that I got to sleep in. I'm thankful for the bed I was sleeping in. I'm thankful for my family that I get to wake up to every morning. I'm thankful for my job, whatever it is. Just start thinking of all the positive gratefulness that you have. And it's going to transition your mind from a lot of that stress or that negativity. And it's like, man, I get to go to work today. I get to see my family. And it just makes you so much more of a positive person. And really, again, that's going to really help to reduce the level of stress and anxiousness as well. Things like talking about like affirmations, things like positive stuff like that, reading positive books or positive scriptures within the Bible. A lot of different scriptures have a lot of positive in there. What goes in will go out. And so this is where if we can just start to pour into our mind a lot of positive stuff, and it's going to fill us up enough where positivity will start to come out as well. So getting rid of the stinking thinking. The fourth one is talking to someone. Now, so many times we just go throughout our life and we just bottle things in. We never really get to share it or just let it out. It's called venting, right? Now, things like finding a counselor, talking to your pastor, or finding a really good, trusted friend that, man, you can just call them up on the phone and be like, hey, man, I just need you to listen to me and just let me vent a little bit because I am going through a lot of stuff in my life. Or just finding, someone that you can really trust, even if it's a dog, right? Just talking to your animal, so whatever you have to do, just let some of that stuff out because we got some stuff. Maybe we got a lot of baggage with us and we just haven't talked about any of that stuff. To let some of that stuff go and just finding someone that has positive feedback, positive advice, some things that they can pour into your life that is going to help you to get through some circumstances that you're going through. So finding someone to talk to. The last one is going to be giving. One of the things that helps us the most is to take off the focus off of ourselves and our current situation and really finding out, man, how can I pour into someone else? And when you start to think of yourself less often, it will actually help to reduce that level of stress or anxiousness because we are so focused on, man, how can I give? How can I serve? How can I provide for this homeless man's his next meal, or providing a blanket because he's getting cold, or how can I just help this family because they're going through a really tough time and maybe I can cook dinner for them and provide a home cooked meal. So just when you start to think of yourself less and you start to think of others and some of the other circumstances that people are going through, man, those stress levels start to go down. Your anxiousness starts to reduce because you're not so much focused on yourself and some of the stuff that you're going through, and you're really starting to think, man, how can I love other people? How can I give? How can I serve? And that will help to really, again, decrease the stress and the anxiety and help to really boost up your mood and your energy so you're not feeling so depressed as well. So I hope that helped you guys. It's really those 5 steps is, again, exercising, breathing, getting rid of the stinking thinking, getting to talk to someone and share what you're going through, as well as giving for other people, whether it be your time, your energy, maybe your finances. That will really help to really reduce the stress levels that you're experiencing. So I hope that helped you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know your feedback. I'd love to hear about that on this video particular. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.